being the class monitor, and Bai somehow managed to score the most beautiful baddie in the class as his girlfriend. But then the awakening ceremony happens, and Bai gets a 3.1 mage. That's it. The crowd immediately erupts into laughter. One person jokes that they never expected the great class monitor's talent to barely qualify him for a class change. A girl tells everyone to keep their voices down because his girlfriend awakened a talent of over 9 points. Then the baddie Lu Ruan steps in and tells Bai not to be sad. Her own talent is a 9.6 mage, and she says she'll protect him from now on. Bai simply tells her that it's fine and she doesn't need to worry about him. Standing next to Lu Ruan's 9.6, and Bai's 3.1 looks pretty bad. Sure, it's better than being a normal person, but with this talent, he can only become the most ordinary mage, not some world-destroying god-level monster. He wouldn't even count as a mob grinder. Lu Ruan then tells him that he might as well change to a support class and handle logistics for her from now on. And Bai stays silent for a moment. Then he tells her he has his own plans. He's going to become a mage. Lu Ruan can barely believe what she just heard. She asks if he seriously wants to become a mage. The others around them struggle to hold back their laughter, and Bai moves a little farther away from them. He wonders if he should go back and try buying another staff, but the laughter behind him just keeps going. Lu Ruan finally gets annoyed and snaps at him. She tells Bai that letting him change to a support class is already giving him a chance to stay by her side. If he doesn't know how to cherish that chance, then he shouldn't blame her for being heartless. Later, at the class change hall, Teacher Wang asks Bai if he has really thought this through and whether he seriously wants to become a mage. After all, Bai is an orphan with no adults at home to plan things out for him. Teacher Wang tells him that he clearly doesn't understand how resource-intensive a mage is, and with a score of only 3.1, no faction will be willing to train him. Bai knows exactly how trash this talent is, but as he looks up, something is hovering above him, and that gives him one last hope, because the object hovering above him is actually the condition for activating the system, along with a complete class change notification. Bai then tells Teacher Wang that he has made up his mind. He's becoming a mage. Teacher Wang can only sigh and tells him to enter the class change array and accept the baptism of energy. Yet another misguided youth. Bai prepares for the process. Suddenly, the entire array lights up. The notification appears. Class change successful. Magic apprentice. Initial skill comprehended. Basic fireball. Teacher Wang looks at the result and sighs again. Sure enough, it's just the most basic magic apprentice. It doesn't even count as a proper mage. But then something else starts glowing in front of Bai. More notifications appear. Class change completed. System activation conditions met. Activating. And then comes the real surprise. Congratulations to the host for successfully binding the skill affix system. Every time Bai levels up, he can draw one golden affix and equip it onto any skill to give that skill additional effects. And right now, he already has one draw available. So he draws. The result appears. Draw successful. Obtained golden legendary skill affix, explosion. Now, affixes are additional attributes that can be applied to equipment in this world. But Bai's system can do something completely different. Can add affixes directly to his skills. And his very first affix is already a super rare golden one. Explosion. Its effect increases damage by 10 to 100 times, with the power gradually weakening from the center of the explosion toward the outer edge. That's not exactly what you'd expect from a 3.1 mage. Bai decides to fuse the explosion affix into his fireball skill. Once the fusion is complete, he looks at the 100-fold increase in damage. Now he wants to find out just how powerful this thing really is right now. Bai heads toward the school's back mountain, where he has learned there is a novice trial ground. On the way, he picks up a set of novice equipment and keeps moving. While running, he overhears a few students talking. One asks if Bai really changed his class to mage. Another doubts whether he actually has the courage to go through with it. Someone else predicts that he'll probably end up clinging to Lu Ruan's coattails. Bai ignores them. He knows the wild monsters in the back mountain were caught and brought here by the school's teachers. They normally don't exceed level 5, which makes this place perfect for testing his fireball. But before he can enter, something suddenly puts him down on the ground. It's Lu Ruan. She asks Bai if he wants to team up with her. She's a tier 3 ice and snow mage, so she can easily carry him and even split half the experience with him. Bai simply says no. Lu Ruan asks why he ran toward her in the first place. Bai tells her that she was blocking the entrance. Lu Ruan is instantly frustrated. She thinks Bai has just embarrassed her in public, and now she's wondering how she's supposed to maintain her perfect image of being united and friendly. Then Teacher Wang reminds everyone that even though the monsters inside aren't high level, they still need to be careful. He tells them not to become the first students to break the school's record record of 0 deaths over the years. And Bai tells Teacher Wang he understands and thanks him for the concern. Teacher Wang can only sigh. He thinks Bai clearly isn't going to listen to his advice. He deliberately didn't tell Bai about this trial ground, yet somehow the kid still found it himself. Later, inside the trial ground, Bai looks around. Then he spots something. A muscular, rabbit-like monster. It's a level 1 mutated rabbit with 80 HP, 5 attack, and 3 defense. Bai recognizes that it's a native creature of Blue Star that mutated after being infected by another world, completely changing its habits. So he decides not to take any chances. He sneaks in an attack first, and Bai casts his basic fireball. The fireball flies toward the rabbit, and the mutated rabbit simply jumps out of the way. And Bai can't help but complain about how slow the fireball is. The monster turns toward him, starts roaring. Then it charges straight at him. But the moment the fireball hits the ground, boom, the explosion tears through the area. And Bai looks at the aftermath and realizes that, visually, the explosion has a radius of about 10 meters. Sure, the fireball is slow, but if the enemy doesn't see it coming, that's more than enough to blow them up. A notification appears. Successfully killed mutated rabbit. Current experience, 1%. And Bai realizes that he's already familiar with the skill now, so it's time to start speed farming levels. He rushes around the trial ground, taking down every monster he comes across. Some of them even start following him. Perfect. The mutated creatures have low intelligence, so they're easy to lure together. And Bai raises his wand and casts another fireball. This time, he sends it toward a large horde of monsters. The fireball flies straight into the group. Then, boom, the entire horde gets caught in the explosion and is blown to pieces. His experience shoots up to 29%. And then he levels up. Level 2. His stats increase. And Bai immediately realizes he can draw another affix. He calls for the system to draw. The result appears. Golden legendary skill affix. Explosion. And Bai is confused. Again, but the system detects that the effect is a duplicate and gives him an extra draw chance. So he draws again. And this time, draw successful. Congratulations on obtaining golden legendary skill affix times 10. And Bai realizes something important. Affixes of the same type can be stacked. So he fuses the new explosion affixes into his fireball skill. His basic fireball now summons a projectile with a 1% chance to burn enemies, deals spirit explosion damage, and creates a massive area of effect explosion when it hits. And the blast damage? It has now increased by 30 to 300 times, gradually weakening from the core toward the outer edges. And Bai decides to test it. He casts another fireball. And this time, boom, a really huge explosion erupts across the area, with some meat roasting over the fire, and Bai remarks that eating the meat of mutated animals can slowly increase his experience, while his stats also get a slight boost. But even after killing almost all the mutated animals in the back mountain, he has only managed to reach level 4. And then there was that bear. It sneak attacked him, which caused Bai to apply the affix incorrectly. When the bear attacked, he had immediately told the system to add the 10-time affix as well. But now that he thinks about it, he realizes something. That extracted 10-time affix can actually be added to a passive skill, meaning his 3 main stats could potentially grow tenfold. That changes things. It also broadens Bai's thinking about how he can use his affixes. After leveling up twice, he had extracted 2 new affixes, no cooldown and no cast time. And those 2 are basically perfect for basic fireball. They make up for its biggest problem, that painfully slow casting time. If Bai wants to reach level 5, though, he'll have to go somewhere else. So he starts traveling again. Meanwhile, someone checks his watch and remarks that the speed at which the wild monsters are being killed this year is much faster than last year. This man is the dean of students, Li Feng. Wang suggests that maybe some of the top students formed a team to hunt the mutated beasts. But Li Feng doesn't think it's that simple. He knows the strength of those students, and unless they've been hiding some methods, something isn't adding up. Wang says they just need to check everyone's levels when the students come out later. That should make things clear immediately. But before Li Feng can respond, they suddenly hear someone screaming for help. A student comes running out in absolute terror. Wang grabs him, while Li Feng tells him that he's safe now and asks what happened. The student stammers that he isn't sure either. He was originally farming mutated beasts around the outskirts, but Wang urges him to hurry up and explain. The student finally blurts out that a group of mutated beasts suddenly charged toward the outskirts. Good thing he ran fast, otherwise he would have been smashed to pieces. Li Feng immediately heads toward the portal. He tells old Wang to hurry, help him expand the portal, and prepare to receive the students. Inside, Bai keeps traveling through the area. Then he notices something strange. Why can't he see anyone? Elsewhere, a group of terrified students is desperately trying to escape. One of them shouts that the portal has expanded and everyone needs to hurry up and leave. Another student says the teachers must be waiting outside to receive them. A third one curses, wondering what the hell has gotten into this group of mutated beasts. And right behind them, the mutated beasts are still chasing them down. And Bai looks around and finally realizes why he couldn't find any mutated beasts in the back mountain. They all ran toward the outskirts, and this group is just big enough to get him to level 5. Outside the portal, more and more students make it out, and Bai also walks out. Wong immediately greets him and is glad to see that he made it out safely. He asks Bai how he managed to dodge that group of mutated beasts, and Bai gets a little nervous and tells him that when he came out, the group was already gone. Wong assumes they probably dispersed on their own and tells Bai to go rest first, and Bai agrees. Before he leaves, Wong reminds him that there is a major exam in 10 days that will determine his future career direction. So he tells Bai to work hard and keep leveling up. And Bai leaves, and he realizes he didn't even bother using identification on himself. Honestly, that's fine too. He can hide his strength. Then the system notification appears. Congratulations, you have reached level 5 and unlocked the second class exclusive skill slot. Basic class passive triggered. All stats plus 10. Mage initiation synergy triggered. Spirit plus 3. Then comes another notification. Extraction successful. Congratulations on obtaining the golden legendary level skill affix. Corpse explosion. Meanwhile, somewhere else, someone is furious. He shouts, wondering where the hell all those mutated beasts died off to. Later, Bai arrives at the local Adventurers Association. The place is filled with glittering weapons and agile battle pets. And Bai thinks that now he can learn his second skill, so he might as well look through the skill books while he's here. As he browses through them, one particular skill book catches his attention. Ice Storm. Then he sees the price. Way too expensive. Even the most common tier skill costs 10,000 yuan. And Bai remembers the one his uncle mentioned and thinks that one looks better. Mages really aren't something ordinary people can afford to cultivate. He then walks up to the receptionist and tells her he's here to open a dungeon card. She asks if he is a newly awakened student from today, and Bai confirms that he is, but someone else nearby overhears their conversation. The receptionist tells Bai to state which high school he is from, give his class, and fill out the form. And Bai takes the form, but the person nearby is still watching him. The moment he hears that Bai is a mage from first high school, he pulls out a large sword, and the people around him start laughing. And Bai has no idea what's going on. Then the man walks over to him and laughs, congratulating him for already reaching level 5 so quickly. He says that's exactly what you'd expect from a student of first high. And speaking of first high, he also graduated from there. Since it's fate that they met, he decides to give Bai 3 basic recovery potions. And Bai takes them and asks if these guys are gambling. The man confirms it. They've been betting on which high school student would be the first to come get a dungeon card this year, as well as what class that student would have. And he bet on a mage from first high. He got it exactly right. And Bai thanks the man for the recovery potions and calls him uncle. The man immediately corrects him. He isn't an uncle. He only graduated 2 years ago. His name is Zhao Ruetian. Zhao tells Bai that if he ever needs power leveling, he can come find him. And Bai then asks if Zhao has any other bets besides betting on which student will be the first to get a dungeon card. Zhao says of course. They also bet on things like what a new student will choose for their first dungeon and how long they'll take to clear it. But now that Zhao has come over to talk to Bai, those old foxes are already annoyed and will probably just make casual bets instead. And Bai looks down at the recovery potions in his hand. Then he asks what would happen if he bet that he could clear a purgatory dungeon with 10-to-1 odds. Zhao immediately starts coughing. He tells Bai that purgatory dungeons aren't something a rookie can clear, and that he shouldn't joke around with his life. But Bai keeps holding the potion and staring at Zhao. He isn't joking. Zhao realizes that this kid is actually serious, so he asks how he should address him. Then Zhao explains that once this bet opens, the stakes could reach somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000 yuan. And Bai understands immediately, so Zhao is just worried he won't be able to afford the payout. And Bai introduces himself as Bai from the family of Sanjiang City. Then he tells Zhao to get this arranged for him. There will be plenty of benefits for him. Zhao thinks to himself that he has never heard of the family before, but anyone who can be the first to open a dungeon card is definitely not simple. He figures Bai must come from some hidden noble family. At the portal, a notification appears. Dungeon, Insect Empress Conquest, level 5, difficulty, purgatory, challengers 1. Bai is ready. Zhao, on the other hand, is terrified. He can't believe Bai chose the harder dungeon right away. This guy must be a big shot. Zhao decides decides he absolutely has to hug this thigh tightly this time. And Bai enters the dungeon. Another notification appears. Dungeon challenge begins. Task 1, normal, survive for 8 hours. Task 2, hard, complete task 1 while killing 300 golden-winged insects and 300 green-winged insects. Task 3, nightmare, complete task 2 while killing the golden-winged insect king and the green-winged insect king. Task 4, purgatory, burn down the insect nest and survive. And Bai looks over the tasks. No map. He has no idea where the insect nest is, but the nest is obviously going to be somewhere with a lot of insects, so he'll just follow the crowd. Soon, insects start flying around him. A notification identifies them. Golden-winged insect, level 7, HP 680, attack 60, defense 90. More and more of them surround and Bai. He raises his wand. Fireball. Boom. The insects are blown apart, and Bai notices that the damage around the outer edge of the explosion isn't enough to kill them, so he'll just add another shot. He keeps firing, taking them down before they can even get close. Then Bai realizes something. That corpse explosion effect. Back when he was in a hurry to leave the back mountain, he hadn't paid much attention to the effect. He saw that it dealt damage and casually added it to basic fireball. But now he understands. With corpse explosion, he doesn't need to keep casting basic fireball over and over. He can let the exploding corpses trigger a chain reaction, and that chain reaction becomes really big. Explosions tear through the swarm, decimating the insects around him. And Bai realizes that corpse explosion is basically perfect for clearing out a swarm like this. Even if a bunch of insects get blown up, the rest will still gather together and attack again, which just gives him more targets for the next explosion. And Bai looks around. Then he notices a massive hole. He peers inside, and Bai realizes that this must be the insect nest, and it's packed with insects. Honestly, that saves him some trouble. He prepares another spell, but before he can do anything, a huge number of insects suddenly start pouring out of the nest. Too late. The fireball has already been launched, and Bai simply watches it happen, then turns around and swings his wand. Outside the dungeon, Zhao keeps staring at the progress notifications. The bets have already climbed into the millions, and Zhao is desperately hoping this young man succeeds, because if Bai fails, Zhao is going to lose a ridiculous amount of money. Suddenly, someone walks up behind him and starts taunting him. He laughs at old Zhao and says that this time Zhao is going to lose everything, right down to his underwear. Then he adds another 500,000 yuan to the bet. The receptionist and everyone else keep watching the dungeon progress leaderboard. Then a notification suddenly appears on the Tower of Life. First place, and Bai, cleared at level 5. Difficulty, purgatory. Rating, SSS. Everyone freezes. Then the announcement echoes through the area. First place, and Bai, cleared at level 5. The crowd immediately erupts. Someone can't believe that the purgatory difficulty of the Insect Empress's remnants was actually cleared. Another person asks who the hell Bai is and calls him a complete badass. Zhao, meanwhile, is celebrating like he just won the lottery. He grabs the same guy who was taunting him earlier and starts celebrating with him. Zhao laughs and calls brother Bai awesome, saying he made a fortune this time. Then he reminds old Jiang that what he just said still counts. And Bai stands there triumphantly. He looks at his reward and immediately notices something good. An all-attribute boost, and it's growth-type equipment. Perfect. He decides to equip it right away. Then Bai realizes something else. He can draw 2 golden affixes, so he tells the system to start drawing. The notifications appear. Draw successful. Congratulations on obtaining the golden legendary level skill affixes, flame and teleport. Later, somewhere else, a guy asks a group of students if they really didn't form a party to grind monsters. Or maybe one of them got a first-class skill and drew some huge area damage affix. The group of students insists that they really didn't. Their monster grinding speed wasn't even that fast. By the time they reached the school's back mountain, the mutated beasts had already disappeared. Then teacher Wang arrives. He tells director Li that there's bad news. Li tells the students to continue grinding monsters and asks old Wang what's going on. He also tells him to calm down because panicking like this isn't exactly becoming of him. Wang tells director Li that another school has produced a formidable student this year. Someone actually cleared the Insect Empress's remnants at just level 5. They can't believe it. He says that back in his day, he cleared the Insect Empress's remnants at level 9, and that was only on nightmare difficulty. Wang tells him it's absolutely true. A lot of people in the dungeon hall witnessed it, and he heard the student cleared purgatory legendary difficulty in just 1 hour. Later, Anbai is still progressing through another dungeon. He successfully takes down an elite Black Iron Knight level 6 and then a Black Iron Archer level 5. With flames burning on his wand, Anbai reminds himself that he gets 3 free dungeon runs every day. He can't waste them before the day is over. This dungeon has plenty of elite monsters, but unfortunately, there are far fewer of them compared to the Insect Empress's remnants. As Anbai continues forward, someone suddenly waits for the chance to ambush him. The attack comes, but Anbai manages to dodge. He immediately throws out a fireball and gets another kill. Anbai drinks a potion and decides that once he gets out, he'll buy a defense-type skill book, because his defense is definitely a little shaky right now. Then even more bats appear, and among them there's a chest. Next to it sits a massive hammer. Anbai moves closer. Suddenly, the hammer starts moving. Anbai immediately recognizes what that means. A leader unit. The figure speaks, saying someone else has dared to disturb his slumber and should die. A notification appears. Leader, Black Iron Giant King. Level 7. Identification required. The giant immediately goes after Anbai. Anbai looks at the surroundings. The space is narrow, while the boss has a massive body and an enormous attack range. There isn't much room to dodge, so Anbai decides the best option is to kill it instantly with one wave of attacks. He unleashes his fireballs, but the boss survives. It roars at Anbai, calling him a damn bug and asking how he dared to hurt it. Anbai prepares another attack, but he quickly realizes the problem. This thing is simply too big. Basic fireball can't break through its defense effectively. And while the boss is powerful, its movements are extremely slow. So Anbai changes tactics. He runs farther away. Then he starts kiting it, and it works, until suddenly, boom, an explosion goes off right behind him. Anbai gets caught. He immediately realizes he's in trouble. He cries out as the attack slams into him. But somehow he manages to hide. That was close. The delayed explosion from basic fireball had been used against him instead. But Anbai takes another look. He gets it. First, he tells the system to add the artillery affix to his basic fireball. Then he adds the teleport affix to basic fireball as well. And now his fireball can teleport and come from practically any angle. The boss doesn't see it coming. Anbai then realizes he can use the explosions to control the flight direction of the bats. He shouts for them to move now. The bats gather directly above the boss. As the fireball starts moving toward them, the boss finally notices. But Anbai is already ready. He tells the system to use corpse explosion. Concentrated explosion. The resulting blast tears through the area. At the same time, Anbai's basic fireball proficiency levels up, and its damage increases as well. Anbai realizes that precisely controlling his skills can actually increase their proficiency. The monster roars and declares that it will fight for the glory of the giants. Anbai simply says, next. He throws another huge fireball. With the teleport affix, the fireball can pass through the boss's attack range, allowing Anbai to land another massive attack. A notification appears. Successfully killed boss level unit, Black Iron Giant King, level 7. Congratulations. Anbai's stats rise again, and then he gets a scroll. He takes a look and realizes what it is. A Mount Pet contract. This is an item of extremely high value. With a Mount Pet, Anbai won't have to worry about traveling anymore, and it can also assist him in combat. Strike while the iron is hot. Anbai tells the system to draw another affix. The notification appears. Congratulations on obtaining the golden legendary skill affix, Crimson Lotus. Anbai looks at the name and figures it should be the fire of the Crimson Lotus. It can improve the quality of his flames. So he adds the 10 times affix to basic fireball again. Then he adds Crimson Lotus to basic fireball as well. Anbai decides that tomorrow he'll sell all the useless materials and items he's gathered. Then he'll use the money to purchase a skill book. And there's one more thing he definitely needs, a special ring. Anbai sits in front of a huge pile of bags, looking completely exhausted. He says he'll sell all this junk in a bit. Right now, he's done. He has already cleared out all the level 5 dungeons, and the next dungeon won't unlock until he reaches level 10. Then he suddenly remembers something. Oh right, he still hasn't received the money from the bets. He wonders if they actually took the money and ran. Just then, Zhao happily calls out to him, laughing and saying that brother and is finally out. Anbai spots him and asks if brother Zhao is still here. Then he wonders why Zhao keeps calling him brother and when he's younger than him. Zhao gets a little annoyed and tells him that capable people come first. Anbai cleared 5 dungeons in one night and broke all the records. How could someone this awesome be called a little brother? Zhao then hands over the money won from today's bets. 1.98 million yuan. It's all loaded onto the card. Anbai looks at the amount and can't believe it. Zhao laughs and explains that while Anbai Bai kept farming dungeons, he was setting up bets alongside him. And as they can see, it was a complete victory. But Zhao also warns Bai about one person. Half of that money came from the guy who lost the biggest bet. His name is Zhang Li from the Shadow Assassin Guild. He's a level 20 assassin, and Zhao is worried that he might come after Bai for revenge. Bai says he knows. Then he thanks Zhao for working hard all night, and as a reward, he gives Zhao all the remains and items he collected. Zhao looks at the huge pile of loot and is immediately shocked. These things are worth a fortune. Later, night falls, and Bai has a bunch of items laid out in front of him. He explains that after selling the remaining materials and items he gathered, he made another 3 million yuan, and he barely managed to use that money to buy this set of equipment. Mages really burn through money, but no matter how much money you have, it only matters if you turn it into actual strength. After memorizing all the pages of the skill book, Bai gains some stat boosts. Then he picks up his staff. Finally, it's a defensive skill which makes up for his weakness in defense. And the shield that dropped from the dungeon can also be put to good use. Object control, shield, bind. Bai looks at it and wishes he could have brought out the giant king's coffin lid as well. With all of this, he now has another layer of security before heading into the wild tomorrow. Bai looks over his next step. Then we see a huge city gate with several guards standing in front of it. One of the guards looks at Bai and points out that he's only a level 8 basic mage. He asks if Bai is really sure he wants to leave the city. Bai shows him his card and tells him that he has already paid the 10,000 yuan exit fee, asking the guard to make sure it's recorded. The guard checks it and says Bai knows the rules. If he encounters danger outside, he can send an SOS through the class holder system, and the nearby city defense force will provide backup. But there's one more important rule. He has to return to the city before sunset. At night, the fierce beasts enter a berserk state, and all of their attributes increase massively. Bai leaves the city. As he travels deeper into the ruins and destroyed areas outside, he remarks that the 100 miles surrounding the city are basically all battlefields, and the only way to leave the city safely is by relying on short-distance teleportation arrays. After the cataclysm, even the plants underwent all kinds of mutations. One careless move out here, and you might not even leave a corpse behind. But the biggest problem is that it's incredibly easy to lose your sense of direction. Electronic devices don't work at all. Luckily, there's the class holder system, and Bai wonders which great god created something this useful. Then he spots something moving ahead. Goblins. One of them says they have the food, but there's nowhere near enough. Another goblin warns that without food, the great king will use them as food instead. A third one points out that there are plenty of people around here, so getting food should be easier. Then another goblin asks what they're so afraid of. The mortals who come here are all novices. As Bai observes them, the identification notifications appear. Goblin Spearman level 11. Goblin Archer. Goblin Slinger. One of the goblins says that since they've already found their prey, they can sweep them up one by one and take them back for the great king to enjoy. Bai looks at them. Basic identification can only reveal this much information. Fine, no point wasting time. Let's start farming. Bai raises his staff. Boom! A massive explosion tears through the area. The goblins are instantly terrified. One of them screams after realizing it's a human mage. How could such a terrifying mage appear here? He immediately turns around and starts running. Bai watches him leave. Run along. That's perfect. He can lead Bai straight to the goblin camp. Bai follows the fleeing goblin. But up ahead, he spots some seriously huge goblins. The little goblin immediately screams that the human mage is here and tells the others to kill him quickly. One of the giant goblins steps forward and looks at Bai. Then it makes a loud noise to alert the others. But before they can do anything, boom! A huge fireball crashes into them. The goblins were pretty happy a moment ago, thinking they could drag this human back with them. Now they're finding out that their attacks are completely useless. They hit Bai's shield. Nothing. Bai looks at it and remarks that there isn't any damage at all. The shield value hasn't even dropped by a single point. Then the huge goblin charges forward with its axe and smashes directly into the shield. The moment it hits, even the giant goblin is shocked. How is this possible? Bai just laughs. Sorry about this. Then, boom! Another explosion wipes them out. The goblins behind them panic. But Bai has already triggered corpse explosion, and the chain reaction begins. One explosion becomes another, then another. The entire goblin village gets swallowed by a continuous series of explosions. Only a few goblins outside the village survive, and they're already busy fighting other people. One of them looks over in shock and wonders what kind of Lord Mage just came out to bomb the streets. Another says the continuous explosions sound a bit like the tier 3 skill flame burst. Later, one goblin hides nearby. It starts thinking about making a sneak attack. It figures figures that if they kill this human, they'll definitely receive a reward from the Great King. Then suddenly, another group of goblins emerges. They surround Anbai from multiple directions. Anbai realizes they actually understand a little bit of coordination. Too bad. Against absolute strength, that kind of coordination is nothing but a joke. He unleashes another series of explosions. The goblins are wiped out one after another, but one manages to get directly behind Anbai. It attacks, and the shield appears again. The goblin can't do a thing. The next explosion completely decimates it. Now every goblin is down. A notification appears. Successfully killed 34 goblins. Current experience, level 8, 16%. Anbai looks at the aftermath. Not bad. He managed to wipe out an entire goblin camp this quickly. Among the loot scattered across the ground, he picks up a crystal. Anbai recognizes it immediately. This crystal is worth around 1,000 yuan per gram in Jiang City. Only the top elites can afford to use something like this. Anbai remarks that although combat classes are basically dancing on the edge of a blade, they really do make money much faster than lifestyle classes. Then he remembers something. That goblin mentioned a great king, so there must be an even bigger camp somewhere. Anbai starts traveling farther into the wilderness. Then, boom, another huge explosion goes off. A great goblin drops right in front of Anbai. But Anbai isn't the only one watching. A voice asks Brother Li if this is the guy he met yesterday. Another person confirms that it is. Brother Li immediately recognizes Anbai. It's him. This is the guy who caused the old man to lose his team leader position and even forced him to repay more than 1 million yuan to the guild within 3 days. Someone else points out that Anbai is only level 9 and suggests they secretly, but another person immediately shuts that idea down. Don't even think about it. He's from the Bai family. Anbai, completely unaware of the people behind him, looks at his notification screen. Level 10. He finally made it. His stats increase, and the system congratulates him for reaching the new level. Anbai looks at the sky. It's getting late. Better find somewhere safe first. The people watching him decide that they're already too close to the city defense force. They'll follow him a little farther. The other man remains calm and silent. Then he starts wondering about something. The Bai family? Which Bai family? As far as he knows, there isn't even a Bai family among the noble families of Jiang City. For now, Anbai continues deeper into the wilderness. He sets up camp. Then he calls for the system. 2 affix draws. The results appear. One is enduring. The other is death-defying substitute. Anbai looks at the second one. It's red. He immediately notices the quality. Mythic, even above legendary. Anbai wonders why he's never heard of this quality before. Could there actually be a top-tier mythic quality above legendary? What a pity. It would be even better if this were a skill. So how can he get the most use out of this affix? Anbai decides to apply it to a passive skill. Then the system displays the full effect. Death-defying substitute. When encountering a certain death situation, a substitute is left in place while the main body is transferred to any location within a 1-kilometer radius. All statuses are restored. The user gains immunity to all damage for 1 minute. Quantity 1/1. Increasing the maximum limit allows additional substitutes to be stored, and consumed substitutes are replenished every time Anbai levels up. Anbai's eyes light up, as expected of a red affix. If the maximum limit increases with every level, then by level 100, he could potentially have 90 revives. That's ridiculous. But before he can think any further, Anbai suddenly notices movement all around him. As Anbai's shields activate, he immediately shouts, asking who's there. A figure in a cloak steps out. He greets Anbai as the young master of the family and asks why he's out fighting monsters without bringing a single servant. Anbai recognizes him. It's him. The cloaked man tells Anbai to hand over all the money he won yesterday, and he'll spare his life. Anbai calls it straight-up robbery and asks if he isn't afraid the city defense force will come and arrest him. The man says he's already scouted the area. Even if the city defense force rushes over, it'll take them 5 minutes to arrive. Anbai won't even survive that long. The rest of the man's teammates start laughing. One of them asks their boss why he's wasting time talking and tells him to just attack. Anbai looks at the 3 of them. Fine, just 3 people? He thanks them for clearing up one of his concerns. 5 minutes is plenty. Anbai takes off his hood. The others immediately rush toward him. One calls him a reckless fool. Another says a mage fighting alone is just a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, and it won't even take 5 minutes to devour him. Then they see it. A massive fireball is flying straight toward their faces. Boom! The explosion swallows them. A tired voice comes from the aftermath. Half. A level 10 novice actually forced him to use half of the life-saving amulet he bought for such a hefty price. And by slowly spins his staff, just a little, looking pretty cool while doing it. He tells them their plan was good. The only thing they underestimated was that his strength is above theirs. The guy lying on the ground suddenly realizes something. The person who used the tier 3 skill flame burst was Enbai. Enbai places his staff right against the man's head. Then he tells him he must have the wrong person. He doesn't know any tier 3 skills. Another round of flames follows. Enbai takes them all down. He looks at the aftermath and remarks that, with corpse explosion, this skill actually turned out to be great for destroying evidence. Once everything is finished, Enbai continues moving forward. But suddenly, an arrow pierces him, a shadow assassination technique. Enbai goes down. Then the monster starts laughing. It reveals that Enbai probably didn't expect him to have only killed a shadow clone. He has accumulated power at level 24 for so long. How could he possibly not have a few life-saving methods? The assassin starts looting the body, mocking Enbai and saying that his strength is decent, but he's still too green. He figures Enbai must have had quite a few lucky encounters, and now all of those resources are going to become his combat power. But as he keeps looting, a small explosion suddenly goes off nearby. The assassin looks up. Enbai is standing right behind him, already preparing another fireball. Enbai laughs and remarks that, as expected of a level 20 assassin, this guy really is troublesome. The assassin is completely shocked, but before he can react, boom, the flames swallow him. Enbai tells him that if he didn't have the death-defying substitute, the assassin really would have succeeded. But just to be safe, what if there's another shadow clone? Better blow it up a few more times. So that's exactly what Enbai does. Explosion after explosion. By the time he's finished, Enbai figures everything should be gone. He starts picking through the loot. Even the special ring was blown up. So this time, the assassin should be completely finished. Enbai then reflects on the situation. In this supernatural world, the greatest dangers often come from class holders. Their bizarre abilities are impossible to guard against. Even his object control shield can't block every type of damage. The death-defying substitute is his real life-saving trump card, so he needs to level up quickly and gain more opportunities. As Enbai looks around, he suddenly notices something in front of him. What is that? He uses identification. A notification appears. Secret Realm World, Demon King's Boneyard. Scale, Medium Multiplayer Secret Realm. Requirement, level 20 or below. Opening requirement, for people. Type, one-time use. Enbai realizes what happened. That explosion actually revealed a secret realm world. He immediately tries to enter, but then he stops, for people are required to open it. He sighs. His classmates, forget it, they're unreliable, and he might end up having his resources stolen. Then Enbai checks his mail. He sends a message to Zhao. Brother Zhao, new secret realm. One spot for me, waiting for 3. Level 20 or below. Come quickly. And then he presses send. In a really dark area, someone calls out, asking where Brotherin is. Enbai answers that they're finally here. Zhao laughs and explains that he ran into some trouble on the way and got delayed a little. Then he introduces the 2 people with him. His sister, Zhao Ziqing, and her classmate, Si Ying. Both of them have just completed their class changes, and Zhao brought them along so they could gain some experience. Ziqing introduces herself as a level 5 tier 3 defender from Shillon High School. Then Si Ying introduces herself as a level 4 tier 3 warrior, also from Shillon High School. Enbai simply tells them to call him Enbai. Later, they reach the entrance. Enbai points it out. This is the place. He explains that it's a multiplayer secret realm, and they don't need to fight. They just need to follow him inside. In return, he'll give each of them 10% of the rewards. Ziqing looks at her brother and asks what happened. Didn't Enbai call Zhao here to carry him through the dungeon? How did it suddenly turn into Enbai soloing the whole thing? Zhao quickly explains that she misunderstood. This is a pro. They're basically just here to make up the numbers. Zhao then tells Enbai that he doesn't need to give him his 10%. He's stuck at level 20 anyway, so gaining experience is useless for him. The group enters the secret realm. Seeing immediately looks around and asks why the dungeon is this kind. It's creepy. And Bai looks at her and figures that maybe she chose a high defense shield warrior class because she's afraid of getting hurt. Then a hand suddenly reaches out from the ground. Skeletons begin crawling up. A skeleton swordsman, level 15. Tier, purple elite unit, and its stats are seriously high. Ziqing immediately asks her brother if they're really not supposed to fight. The monster is level 10, and she can't believe Enbai can actually solo an elite skeleton swordsman. Enbai knows he can't expose his affixes in front of the 3 of them, so he keeps it simple. Fireball. He casts it. The fireballs tear through the skeletons and take them down with ease. Everyone is stunned. Zhao can't believe it. What? This is just fireball? Ziqing is equally shocked. Is Enbai really really only level 10? They stare at the fallen skeleton in front of them. And Bai isn't worried. They shouldn't be able to figure out his affixes from this. The corpse is still intact. He continues attacking the other skeletons. There aren't many of them, but surprisingly, every single one is an elite monster. Then, boom! A huge explosion tears through the area. Zicheng looks at Anbai's damage and can't understand it. She asks her brother why someone so ruthless would cap their level. Isn't Anbai just a basic mage? Then why is his fireball damage so high? Zhao looks at her and asks what level she thinks brother and is capped at. Anbai only completed his class change yesterday, just like them. Zicheng can't believe it. How can the gap between people be bigger than the gap between humans and dogs? Seeing immediately asks if she's saying they're worse than dogs. Zicheng tells her to shut up. Zhao tells them to hurry up and follow Anbai. He estimates they'll reach the boss soon, so they shouldn't hold brother in back. The group continues forward as Anbai takes down more skeleton elites. Then a notification appears. Congratulations, you have reached level 11. Basic class passive triggered, all attributes plus 90. Flame affinity plus 10. Mage initiation passive triggered, spirit plus 6. Flames are still burning around Anbai. He checks his new stats, then tells the others to pick up the materials first before they continue. Zhao is already collecting everything. He tells brother and not to worry and says they can handle all the manual labor. Anbai can just get some rest. Anbai doesn't argue. He calls for the system to draw another affix. The notification appears. Drawing golden affix. Draw successful. Congratulations on obtaining the golden legendary skill affix. High probability. Anbai looks at the new affix. High probability? Could this increase the reward probability after killing monsters? He only has fireball as an attack skill anyway. Might as well put it there. He applies it, and then he actually guessed right. Zhao calls out that they're almost finished gathering everything. All the materials are already stored in his spatial ring. He asks if Anbai wants to distribute them now. Anbai says they'll clear the dungeon first. The group continues deeper inside. Eventually, they reach a massive gate. Beyond it, a huge coffin sits in the center of the area. Everyone gathers around. Anbai looks at the coffin. Another coffin? The last dungeon had one too. What exactly is going on with these coffins? Suddenly, a powerful force tears through the coffin. Zicheng immediately raises her shield, but the force is far too powerful. A notification appears. Cursed Demon King level 15. Tier, purple leader. HP 100,000. Attack 0. Defense 0. Skills, life, curse, chain, summon. The cursed Demon King starts moving toward them. This massive. Zhao looks at the creature and barely manages to say that this is before the cursed Demon King suddenly attacks. Anbai immediately warns everyone to watch out. He decides to clear away the dense fog first and uses his skill. But as the fog starts clearing, Anbai notices something else. What is that? There are far more monsters here than he expected. It's not just one. They've been surrounded. All they can hear is the constant clack-clack of the monster skulls. The tension shoots through the group. This is bad. Really bad. They immediately cover their ears, hoping not to hear another second of that horrible clanging. But then the monsters throw out a chain. Anbai reacts instantly. His object control shield blocks it. Or at least that's what it looks like. The chain actually pierces through the shield and goes straight into Anbai. Then it connects to Zicheng. From her, it jumps to Seeing, and finally it reaches Zhao. Zhao immediately realizes something is wrong. He tells everyone to check their status bars. Anbai does the same. A special status appears. Special status. Bound by the cursed Demon King Serpent Lord Curse Chain. If your attack hits a clone, you will bear the damage yourself. The two girls are terrified. They immediately move closer together and cling to each other. Zicheng asks what this means. Could it mean that if they attack one of the clones, they'll receive the damage themselves? Zhao explains that he's seen this kind of taboo curse skill before. It was used by a lich. Back then, they had no idea how the curse worked, and their party suffered a huge loss. One of their companions had been locked onto by the lich's life curse chain. They thought that as long as the priest kept healing that person and maintained their HP, there wouldn't be any danger to their life. But they were wrong. Even after they fought desperately and finally killed the lich, completely eliminating the source of the spell, their companion's life still completely dissipated. There was no saving them. The story only makes everyone more terrified. Seeing can't believe this and screams in panic. Anbai immediately tells them not to panic. If they only take damage when they hit a clone, then 9 out of 10 Demon Kings should be fake. That means they just need to find the real one and kill it. Then they'll be fine. Zhao agrees that Anbai is right, but there's still one problem. How are they supposed to find the real one? Anbai knows he's not worried about dying because he has the death-defying substitute. But the other 3 are different. He brought them into this place, so he has to make sure they get out safely. Enbai looks around at all the clanking skulls. He tries to figure out what to do. Then suddenly, one of the heads starts chanting some kind of spell. Zicheng points toward one of the monsters and warns everyone to be careful. It's releasing another skill. Immediately, the entire ground starts shaking. Then even more elite monsters emerge, weapons in hand. In seconds, a whole army surrounds them. Zicheng asks her brother if they should leave right now. Zhao stays silent. She calls out to him, then to Xiying, and finally to Enbai. She suggests that they leave first. There's no reason to risk their lives here. But Enbai tells them to wait and see. With them by his side, these skeleton warriors aren't a threat. Enbai starts calculating his next move. He needs to control his firepower precisely. If he lets corpse explosions spread too widely, the explosions could hit the Demon King clones and trigger the curse chain. So he has to strictly control the explosion range and safely clear the monsters without touching the clones. Enbai releases a small amount of fire. It tears through one of the skeleton warriors. A notification appears. Successfully killed elite skeleton warrior. Current experience, level 11, 3%. Enbai rotates his staff, suddenly getting excited. He didn't expect the mobs summoned by the boss to actually give normal experience when killed. This is a huge profit. More monsters rush toward them. Enbai laughs. Come on, all of you, the more the better. He throws out wave after wave of fire. The flames hit the monsters and start taking them down one after another. Enbai raises his staff and prepares to target something else. But then he notices the giant monster doing something. Enbai realizes what's happening. Oh no, he got too excited. He had amplified the power too much. Now they're in serious trouble. The monsters begin moving away. Enbai immediately stops and realizes how close he came to triggering the backlash. That was close. Zhao starts praying and tells brother and to be careful. Their lives are literally in his hands. Enbai nervously assures him that he understands. What just happened was an accident. The girls are still terrified. Hopefully there won't be another accident like that. Enbai prepares another series of fireballs. This time he uses instant cast. The spells fly out immediately, tearing through the monsters surrounding them. The horde starts falling apart. 2 hours later, Zicheng looks at the situation and admits that she never expected the dungeon could actually be played like this. Xiying is still there too, watching the whole thing unfold. As they watch Enbai keep fighting, Zicheng realizes what he's actually doing. He's using the boss as a mob farming machine. Zhao explains that most people would have run away long ago after encountering such a troublesome summoning type boss. Only someone with Brother An's ridiculous strength could continuously and efficiently farm the skeleton warriors. Xiying notices something too. She points out that no more skeletons seem to be crawling out. Zicheng looks around and notices the same thing. There are only tombstones everywhere now. Then Zicheng notices something else. There's only one Demon King clone left in the sky. Enbai looks up as well. He tells the Demon King to keep summoning. What? Scared? Zhao suddenly realizes what's happening. The boss also needs to consume spirit to use its skills, which means it's out of mana. Enbai finally understands. So that's how it is. Zicheng then notices that the life curse chain has automatically unraveled as well. Enbai raises his staff. Then he tells the Demon King he'll send it on its final journey. He prepares his attack, and boom! A massive explosion tears through the remaining Demon King. The notification appears. Successfully killed Purple Leader Cursed Demon King, level 15. Congratulations to all survivors for successfully clearing the Demon King's Boneyard Secret Realm world. Everyone levels up. Then Enbai receives another notification. Congratulations, you have reached level 12. Basic class passive triggered, all attributes plus 90. Mage initiation passive triggered, spirit plus 6. You have obtained 1 chance to draw an affix.